Welcome back to Kaiserreich. Today we're going to be playing as the Dutch East. In particular, we're going to be playing as the Dutch East Indies that's going to have the Dutch government come here in exile. We've set up the game rules so that the good old Netherlands over here, let's just turn off the fog of war. The good old Netherlands over here is going to have a socialist revolution, which is going to kick out the royalist government, and they will end up fleeing over to here. That's what's going to be happening here today. And then eventually we're going to try to, of course, retake the homeland. Turn off straight standard tools because we don't actually need it on, at least not right now. But I have not played as the Dutch East Indies in any capacity whatsoever. So let's see. We have the 36-day or 1936 review of the KNIL. Government Navy is probably not that important. So I guess we'll go with this. As soon as this is done, basically Black Monday will be have started. Allow us to get this bonus over here as well, which is hopefully not so bad. Hopefully Black Monday. I actually don't know how hard it hits our country. But the Indies in 1936. Barring a syndicalist revolt in 1925, the crown jewel of the Dutch Empire has been a beacon of stability, taking advantage of Dutch ascendance into Middle Europa to sell its good, sugar, coffee, oil, etc. The newly opened up markets, despite the competition from the new despite the competition from the now properly set up and rebuilt German competition, this economic growth managed to keep up and stability comes along with it. Despite this, Dutch authorities suppress any calls for independence, Dutch government believing that this will not be able to survive without the Du Oost. Despite this, the movement grows. Many of the colonial administration fear that economic hardship were to appear again, like the events in 1925, might repeat or worse. Well, I can tell you right now, it's definitely going to happen. Because the movement grows in strength. Right now, they are, assuming maybe it shows up in here. We got very low independent strength, very low unity, and we are a colonial government, which, you know, it ruins our political power, but it's not that bad. It could be a lot worse. We have 10 units, up to, we can actually have 42, which is pretty good. We have 8 factories, we are 215, absolutely horrible. Let's take some basic technologies here. We'll go for production efficiency cap, well, construction speed. I think those both seem like good options to begin with. Get our Army and Navy experience now as well. We have... let's build at least... Do we have any good provinces? We can build one here for 50% boost. That's really about... We'll build one factory. How long will that take? Till May of next year. And that's not including the Black Monday penalties, so it's absolutely are going to affect our construction speed. Of course, awesome. Franski's been shot. Another event here as well. And Kordov Storm Moscow. Okay, so we are going to see another Sannikov playthrough. I guess we'll just start building convoys. That seems fine for now. We'll import 1 unit of steel. I mean, I guess from Russia, it doesn't really matter. I don't see... Oh, but then we don't have any factories for trade. Wait, really? We own 1. Oh, 6 of our 7 factories come from trade. That is pretty bad. But I guess we'll trade it away. We'll trade our 1 factory away and we'll have to rely completely on our trade. The fact that we're relying on our trade so much, I think we might... Oh, we're already on free trade. Okay, that seems really bad. We usually have no economy. But hopefully at some point we'll be able to rectify that. The return of the Mimika expedition. Part on the 15th of October last year, the Mimika expedition has finally returned to the civilized world. The expedition intended to make further contacts with the Tapro people of New Guinea rainforest, who had no new tribes, who had been discovered in 1910 by British Orthodox expedition. Although no new tribes had been discovered, the expedition did visit the Tapro settlements that had not yet been visited before, allowing them to study the people with merely Stone Age technology. Later, they also visited people living in the Penania mountain range, resulting in a steep climb, discovery of settled settlements in one of the range's river valleys, resulting in a stunning discovery. Despite the limited length of the mountain, Papuans could not be considered a pygmy people. The expedition was a resounding success. It's a great day for anthropology. It gives us 10 political power. We can use that to suppress some natives in the future. Okay, total list charter. We got a new king in Britain. Again, nothing overly surprising. I guess we could also probably get our units ready to go. I mean, who is more likely to attack us? I mean, our main obstacle for this campaign is either going to be the Independence Revolt or it's going to be the Japanese. So those are kind of the 2 main oppositions we can see happening to the Dutch East Indies. Everyone else, not really that big of a problem. Let's see, do we have a navy? We have 29, no, actually, we have more than that. We have 39 ships total. And that's actually pretty good for a country of our size. The point where it's like, we'll probably not need to build more naval units in the future. Congress of Batavik finds common ground with the Indonesian nationalist movement. Most of those, I don't think really we can't really do anything about it right now. War in Afghanistan. And in 1936 review. Hey, there's Black Monday. And the Jackmans have elected into France. In the mid-19th century, the Netherlands has maintained a position of neutrality between the world powers, with the Weltkrieg showing that neutrality of a nation isn't guaranteed to avoid war. Tensions slowly rising again in Europe between the syndicalist nations of Britain and France and the imperialistic German Empire. Different narrative is occurring within the far-flung colony. The Japanese Empire, the German Ostasian, are preparing for what appears to be a battle for Asia, and syndicalist movement within the Australian nation. The KNIL, the Koninklijk Netherlands Ancient Lager, is nowhere ready to provide an adequate defense for the colony, currently only being able to defend the Java Island. The KNIL role mainly for maintaining peace within the colony, and as of late suppressing the indigenous populations where local police forces are unable to handle this. It lacks modern arms, a command and control structure, and other basic needs that are currently being addressed with a new budget being drawn and a slow merging of several commissions to help streamline the modernization of the KNIL. But basically, our army is shit. 75 political power for that. You know, I'll take it. Black Monday will be happening, I'm sure, any moment. Oh, those are some horrible, horrible modifiers. Negative 30% organization, negative 6% recruited population. War support, negative 40%. We do have a plus 10% recovery rate, though, so I mean, I guess that's something. Not much. It's actually basically zero. Okay, we now have a new Republic of Poland. The nationalists fight each other. The fact that the nationalists and the syndicalists don't really like each other was clear before, but now guerrillas of both sides have started fighting each other in the countryside. And now stands ready to intervene, but some of the people say it would perhaps be better for them to weaken each other, while we sit back and relax. And so both thin out their numbers and make them less likely to reconcile. Yeah, I know, I think we want to... We do lose political power, negative 25, but you know what? I think that seems good enough. We don't want the independence revolts to actually fire. At least not for this playthrough. And really, Black Monday is still not arrived in the country yet. Bonus to land doctrine, 2,000 rifles. Plus 20 air experience is kind of hot garbage. Okay, we can't do this quite yet. Form a garrison to an army. Get more free factories here. One free military. You give us 2 free units, which is not horrible. Because those free units, we don't actually need to spend any equipment or manpower to train them. How many guns do we have? We're already at negative 3,000. Okay, we're at negative 3,000. We're going to take the 2,000 free rifles. I think that seems okay. Especially after that, we'll be able to get 1 free military factory as well. Which we can use to probably produce more guns. Yeah, so war's breaking out in China. Let's upgrade... Not upgrade you. Let's actually assign some leaders. The 3-2-1-1 seems okay. Do we have any actual field marshals? We do. We got Eintierporten. We have like decent manpower. The game wants us to build more units, which I guess is like not a bad thing. You have artillery. I would honestly prefer to make you just 20 combat with right now, as opposed to trading more units right away. We're now at negative 529. Actually, how many of these units do we have? 1, 2... We have 6 colonial divisions. And the colonial divisions are absolute garbage. Okay, so we need to make these guys into not shit. There we go. Make these units a little bit better. Thank you, thank you. If Black Monday hits the Indies. Yeah, the result of the economic hardship that hit Europe after the Black Monday crash could soon be felt in Dutch East Indies too. Has been selling their goods to the Europa markets since the end of the Weltkrieg. As their goods on the Middle European markets, as the common man in Europe can no longer afford to purchase goods such as sugar and coffee, the price of said goods imploded, deep implications for the farmers here. So we're going to get negative 10% stability, negative 200 political power. Honestly, it's other than the political power loss, it's not that bad. I was expecting significantly worse results. Yeah, but other than the political power, which, I mean, does hurt. Not horrible. And having, no political power actually doesn't change how quickly you can do these. You can still do these even with negative political power, so it's not so bad. Okay, the Pope has died. We got a new chairman of TUC, which I'm pretty sure he's just like the standard syndicalist. Yeah, so France has gone totalist. You've gone syndicalist. Italy, I don't think it's had their election quite yet, so we'll see which way they go, but it's not like it really matters so much. We'll end up invading all of them in due time anyways. Anything else going on in the wider world right now? We got the Social Democrats here. I mean, we're still rather early on, so I wouldn't really expect too much to show up. Afghanistan. Euro Conference. Mexico is currently the Radical Socialist. Zapata, I think this is past the point where Zapata would have been assassinated, so I think Zapata is staying in power. Yeah, but other than that, nothing too crazy been going on in the wider Kaiserreich world as of yet. Pope, a new Grand Vizier, got 2,000 free guns, 50%, 50 political power. Construction speed goes up a little bit. We get 8 rubber. I don't know that's really that great. Let's actually go for limited rice imports, 49 days on you. An infiltration of the nationalist group. On the agent of their colonial structure, the PID has managed to infiltrate a group advocating for Andalusian independence. Could use this asset to either sabotage their efforts or to try to sort of discord amongst their ranks. Could import collaboration with other groups across the land. What should we instruct our agent to do? Unity shrinks or strength shrinks? They're still rather very low, right? Weekly stability. I guess we'll go for their strength. I mean, they're both rather low anyways. And for tanks that strong, DEI industry. Yeah, we have 6 factories right now. Actually, do we even have any factories? Because we're probably not trading with anybody anymore, right? We have 3 factories in total. We have 1 factory. This will be done in 1940. Okay, so that's really bad. Because all of our civilian factories, other than 1, were coming from the fact that we had decent trade. But now we don't have any trade, so our economy is just shit. It's horrible. Okay, Socialist Revolution in Iran. Doesn't really mean too much for us. Iran shouldn't really play into the greater conflict. How close are you guys to actually fighting the war? You're not quite there yet, because this has apparently not fired. Election 36 didn't happen, which October. So, the war against Bulgaria has not started. And it's definitely, it happens way sooner than it used to. I think it's happening like mid-37. That can fire in like October. Yeah, so concentrate industry 1. Yeah, McKinney weaken the movement or divide the movement because they're actually just not powerful enough to really threaten us. So I don't think we have too much to fear from the independence movement. Volkswagen with a machine gun on it. I think some 1936 technicals. The freaking Volkswagen. Volkswagen exists in this universe? I actually don't know. I don't know if Volkswagen exists in Kaiserreich. I don't think they would. Maybe something similar to the Volkswagen, but I don't think Volkswagen itself would be a thing that exists. A regent murdered. One of our local administrators, known as regents, have been murdered. The police suspect that it's a gang of pro-nationalist thugs who were angered by the recent statement of the regent, who are known for their terror. They did not have the means to prove this as of yet, though. Allow them to just bring them in, as it seems highly unlikely that it's not them. The reporter spent time and money to investigate the case in detail. Unity grows. Or a 50-50. Nah, let's pick him up. Just pick him up. The unity doesn't really matter so much. We get stability from them being weakened, so I wouldn't do that. Okay. Gain the motorized regiment template. That is possibly one of the worst effects I've ever seen. Negative 100 political power, becomes a developing rural region. 50 convoys for free naval base. And we eventually need to take the negative 100. But I actually don't really know what developing rural region actually means in terms of gameplay. Let's get our free military factory first, and then we'll worry about the Black Monday. We'll just try to build. I guess we also need to build some artillery as well. Like our artillery, some of our units do have artillery in them, so it makes sense that we at least want to get some power there. Ruthenia is now led by authoritarian Democrats. They're no longer social democratic. It looks like Ukraine might be leaning towards going syndicalist. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that. Having them go syndicalist is definitely really weak in the German Empire. Would Excavation 1 make sense here? Let me just see. Trade. I mean, 10% would give us an extra 60 rubber. Which would hopefully allow us to maybe export more stuff and potentially get another factory out of it, but I don't really know if that's... Nah, it's probably not necessary. Let's just go for more construction speed. Because again, our construction speed is absolutely just in the toilet right now. It's absolutely horrible. Let's see, strength right now is still very low unity. But overall, I feel pretty okay. I feel pretty good with where we're at right now in the world stage. Japan right now is democratic. We'll have to kind of wait and see though. If they do the National Security Act, whether or not they stay democratic or go national populist. We'll have to kind of wait on that. Coup d'etat in Siam. Ergen Sternberg has defeated the Mongolian rebels. Ad Baron remains in power in Mongolia. And we got our free factory. And the fall of the Kingdom of Finland. I don't think I've seen that event before. Production speed, rubber. Let's just lose all the political power now before it really matters. Okay, nationalists fight each other. Again, we're just going to do nothing. That seems fine. Okay, so if they go, if the Republic falls, they go national populist. Okay. National populist Finland's kind of like in a weird spot because they actually can't join up with the Reichspakt. They can only join if Russia attacks them and doesn't annex the entire country. Volkswagen, the largest powerless parliamentary colony, has passed a petition of Tarjo something, calling for the conference to speak about the future of Dutch East Indies, specifically in terms of promoting an equal status within the kingdom. With it being passed, it is now tasked as Governor General to send it back home. The Volkswagen has merely advised her legislation, however, the Dutch and Indo population are concerned about the imperialism or implications of the petition. They could use a simple veto the whole deal. You know, let's send it to the Netherlands. Not like they really matter, because again, they will be having a syndicalist revolution, I think, basically no matter what happens. Foundation of the NIVU. The NIVU, the Dutch East India Football Union, founded today as an official organization concerning organized football in Dutch East Indies. Previously, the Dutch East Indies government worked directly with native PSSI, but since the sport has grown in popularity, it has become important that the amount of Tokans and Chinese take part in the colonial team. Something a new NIVU will make sure, as well as creating a more secure environment for it. Okay? Got a new football team. Who doesn't love a good old game of football? And also, the United Baltic Dutch is just falling apart. Germany might be having a bad game. We'll kind of wait and see on that. Let's see, we got Estonia and Latvia. Latvia right now, Social Democratic. We'll kind of see which way these guys end up going. They could either both join Russia. Yeah, you've gone socialist. You'll probably end up joining with the Third International, which usually means Estonia will join up with the Russians. I usually don't see Estonia. I mean, Estonia could theoretically neutral, but then Russia just invades them. And we also have no factories, huh?